Good evening, everyone. My name's Chayton.
And I'm Fish.
And welcome, one and all, to the MindMesh podcast. The podcast all about internet rabbit holes, all about those weird, strange shower thoughts, the things that you don't want to share with people because once you do, they make no sense. That's all we talk about. And man, oh man, do we have some whoppers for you today.
What's something that makes no sense to you, bro?
Deaths at thrill amusement parks. Oh my god!
At amusement parks.
I literally I had the biggest brain fart right there. My brain said no, but my mind said yes. Wait, that's the same thing. But yes, amusement parks. I personally love amusement parks. Are you a fan of amusement parks? Are you a fan? Oh, that's all I needed to hear to know that it's a good time on your end.
Oh yeah. Cracking open the ice cold soda.
Yeah, I can't
Not
say
even
brand,
like joking around.
Yeah,
it's just
can't do a brand name there. You just, oh yes, let's do an ASMR stream. That's all. Not stream, but let's do an ASMR podcast. That's all we need to do.
Yeah,
that's how we'll really grab our audience. It's just
it'll be live.
Yummy, yeah.
It'll be live. We'll do like mukbangs.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. Yeah, let's do a food podcast. I mean, that's all I talk about is food, so might as well do a mukbang. No, it's pronounced a mukbang.
But I do like amusement parks, though.
Yeah, I've always been. I think
sorry, guys, I have a cold.
It's fine, but I think I intercepted this love from my mother, because she's not a thrill seeker per se, but she's always been a fan of amusement parks and roller coasters and stuff like that. That's where her adrenaline comes from. Her adrenaline rushes come from amusement park. It's not like, oh, let's go whitewater river rafting and fall off the side of a waterfall kind of adrenaline rush that she likes. It's like, let's do it nice, calm, and safe.
In a roller coaster.
In a roller coaster going 120 miles an hour.
So before we get into this, what do you prefer, Six Flags or
okay. Not gonna lie,
Disneyland?
I have zero preference. I have absolutely no preference. I've been to almost every amusement park under the sun. Besides, I think
I've never been to a Disney park.
I've been to Knott's Berry Farm. I've been to Disney. I forget which one's in California. I think it's Disney World.
Land is in
Florida.
In California, because that's the original one.
So I've been to Disneyland in California. I've been to Knott's Berry Farm. I've been to Six Flags. I've been to Universal. I haven't been to the one called like King's Cove or whatever. I really want to go to that one. Of course, there's like Hershey's Park.
Been to Dollywood?
Yeah, I've been to Dollywood, of course. I have not been to Disney World. That's like the one. It's weird. I went to Florida. We went to Universal, and like we talked about going to Disney World, but then we never actually did it. It was kind of weird.
Imagine going to Florida and then like not going to Disney World, but just staying at the Nickelodeon Hotel.
Did you do that?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you were actually about to go into a personal like experience that you had.
No, I really wish I did.
Wait, Nickelodeon Hotel? Wait. That's not even attached to Disney.
I know, but like people would make a vacation out of going to that instead of going to Disney World.
Well, I mean, it's the same sense for Legoland.
I feel
I
like
haven't been to Legoland. I kind of want to go to Legoland.
Legoland sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, no, the fact that they have an entire hotel for Legoland, and when you like book the hotel and you go in, they actually just give you free Lego sets to build. They're just like, hey, here's a bunch of sets. Have fun.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's really cool.
Yeah, no. Like, everything has Lego bricks attached to it. So if you just wanted to build off walls and stuff like that, you can do that. It's wild.
That's fucking insane.
It's like the main reason I loved Disney World in California is I did the whole Star Wars build your own lightsaber thing. And I could just imagine the monumentous more amount of fun that I would have at Legoland just building with Legos.
I didn't know you did that.
What? The custom lightsaber thing?
Yeah.
It was before the one in Disneyland happened.
Oh, okay.
Where they did the expansion for Avatar.
The Galaxy's Edge?
Yeah, the Galaxy's Edge thing. It was before that because the one that they have now is literally you pay $250 to get a ticket.
And it's like a whole like ceremony.
Yeah, it's a whole ceremony where they actually put out the parts and you pick out the parts and they're actually, I think they're die-cast metal.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like the Force Effects lightsabers that you used to be able to buy in like
Target and Walmart
Target
and GameStop.
Oh, what was the other one? It started with an H that like shut down. It was like almost a competitor.
Hastings.
Yeah, Hastings. Yeah, you could always find them in Hastings. And I always looked at them. And
I just want to give a shout out to Hastings because
Yeah.
that was one of the best fucking
Dude,
stores.
yes. R.I.P. Hastings. I love you. Rest in peace up there with Blockbuster. Like-
Right?
But no, I always wanted a Force Effects lightsaber. And there were so many moments in my like adolescent life that I had the money for it, but I was like, why spend $120 on this lightsaber when I could spend $120 on other things and get more stuff?
That's fair.
That was always my argument was, do I want one big thing or a bunch of small things?
I got one for Christmas
Did you?
as a kid. Yeah, I had an Anakin one.
See, I think I actually, was I looking at Anakin one? It was either
Or
Anakin or
Luke
Obi.
Skywalker, you know, the
Whichever-
OG one.
It was either Anakin or Obi-Wan because I always wanted the blue.
Yeah.
That was always like my discerning factor. I wanted a blue lightsaber. But yeah, no, when I went to Disney, before they had the whole Galaxy's Edge thing where you actually got like Force Effects lightsabers,
Mm-hmm.
it was like the plastic set. Well, they kind of did
Oh.
it for Star Wars Rebels with the cartoon series. They almost like rebranded it because Galaxy Edge was happening, and they put them out in Hasbro's where you could actually buy the sets and stuff like that.
I had one of those as a kid, like a
No.
set.
Yeah,
where,
no. But I paid the extra $50 at Disney World to
to do it there.
yeah, to do it there. Well, it was also cool because you got every single version of the crystals and stuff like that. And the little chamber had 3 spots for crystals. So if you put blue and red in there, it would make a purple saber. If
Yeah.
you put blue, red, and green, you got a white saber and stuff like that. So like they gave you all the crystals that you needed, whereas in Galaxy Edge, you get one crystal and then you can spend $15 to get the other singular. Like you have to pay like $15 for each one. And then there's also a thing at the new Galaxy's Edge where if you're looking at red crystals, like there's one in every 1,000 is actually an obsidian black crystal,
Oh wow.
which is something they added into the Star Wars lore or whatever. It's basically a super powerful red saber kyber crystal that like somehow makes your lightsaber stronger or something like that.
Oh,
I don't know how to explain it.
I thought it was like a black saber thing, but it's kind of impossible to make like a
Yeah.
black lightsaber.
Yeah, no. Well, they actually have them in the cartoon series.
I know it's in the series, but I mean like trying to make a
Oh yeah, with the actual
light.
light. Yeah, no, it makes 0 sense whatsoever. But
be like gray or like
no, it would just be white. It would just be pure white light unless they
well,
like.
there's already
they'd have
that's
to get-
already a thing though.
Yeah, no,
unless
that-
it's
what-
like a literal black
what-
light or something.
Well, no, what I was about to say is the way they would have to do it is that you'd have to buy a special blade that had the outer like plastic core, and then on the inside would be a metallic black sheen.
Yeah,
And then they'd have LED that would shoot up through that would reflect off the black. So
I mean
that
that's
way,
essentially what the blades are, except they like silver.
no,
and
yeah,
that's how
no,
they-
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It'd have to be a black core, so that way it looked black with a white light.
That's fair.
But yeah, no, I've been to tons of amusement parks, especially as a Lake Winnipesaukee. I don't know if you've ever heard that one. That's like a Tennessee kind of exclusive one besides Dollywood. Lake Winnipesaukee doesn't really have, I would say, they might have added more roller coasters, but when I used to go as a kid, it was all those like weird, like slow thrill rides or whatever.
Yeah.
They had one called Blue Lightning that was an outside roller coaster, but it was the only roller coaster I've ever ridden with sharp 90-degree turns.
Oh, that's scary.
So you would ride it and literally the entire appeal, like it never went fast or anything. It would just go straight, and then you would it was so slow that you could see it coming up, but it was just fast enough that when it would turn, it would literally just snap your neck to the
Oh.
other side. And it was the most, I don't even know why I rode it so many times, but I loved the thing.
There, have you ever heard of Silver Dolly City?
Yes.
I
I've done
actually
a lot of research into amusement parks and like which ones are good or not, and like which ones I want to visit in my life.
that's one that's in Missouri that I used to go to as a kid. And there's this ride I remember.
It's probably similar to Lake Winnie in the sense of like it's just kind of a hometown
Well,
amusement park.
It was Dollywood used to be a Silver Dolly city.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then
Oh, okay.
I think Dolly Parton bought the amusement park, and
Yeah,
then
Dolly Parton said, "Fuck you! I got my country music money. I'm buying this amusement park."
and then making my own,
Yeah, and then making it my own and calling it Dollywood.
and then having a bunch of Lifetime movies shot there.
Whoa, dude, shut up! There's only one that I know of so far.
Anyways, oh yeah, I remember where I was going with this.
Yeah, Missouri Amusement Park.
There was a ride there, and thinking back on it, it's a really strange ride. It was this ride where you sat in it and you went through this, basically told this story. It just like kind of went slow, and then there was some weird jump scare shit.
Yeah,
in it.
no, Lake Winnie had one of those. It was almost like you entered the cart and then it went into a super dark, like pitch black. It was almost like a haunted house ride, except you're in a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's like what's that Disney ride all that with the annoying song.
It's a small world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that, but like a horror-esque
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But it was like this weird cult that wore these like bunny masks.
Like Mad Hatter from Batman? That kind of
No, think of like a ski mask, but with like bunny ears on it.
Okay.
And like,
yeah.
like these red jumpsuits. And they just terrorized this town. And I don't know why, but it just stuck with me. And I rode that so many times for some reason.
I rode the horror one on Lake Winnie a ton. I can't tell you exactly what it's about because like it had like 5 sections and each one had a different monster. I remember a vampire and a werewolf being in there because, you know, classic. I think Frankenstein was in there or something. I don't even remember. But there. Speaking of rides that literally just gut wrenched you, I think it was in Knott's Berry Farm. It was called the Boomerang, I think, or whatever. But basically, you sat there, and what it would do is that it would literally, from the get-go, shoot you off going 120. Like
Jesus Christ.
It had the boosters, and it was just like, zoom. Or maybe, no, this was 2 separate rides. There was one called the Boomerang and one called something else. Blue Lightning? No, Blue Lightning was the Lake Winnie one. I don't remember what the other one was called. But the one that would shoot you off all the way would shoot you off at 120, and it was a giant loop at the top, and you would just go around, and that's literally all the momentum the entire ride had was just to shoot you, so you would go straight up, and then it would just curved in a big loop at the top and just sent you right back down. Yeah, that was the main appeal of that ride. But then there was one called the Boomerang that midway through the ride, it just like it couldn't make it up the hill,
so it goes back.
Then you would ride the entire ride backwards, go through the line queue where everyone would load up.
Yeah.
And then have a bit of the ride on the other side, and then it couldn't make it up the hill again, and then it would send you back. Then you'd shoot back again, and then it would stop you or whatever. I love those kinds of rides. There's actually one at Disney World that's like a Yeti escape type deal.
That's like that?
Yeah, where you ride it, and then like all of a sudden the ride like gets to a point. There's like flashing strobe lights. You see the Yeti like ripping apart electrical cables, and all of a sudden you're just going backwards through the ride. Yeah, but it's really smart because right behind where you are, it's like train tracks and the ride just splits like once you get there. So the ride that you go backwards is actually a completely different route than what you were doing when you were going forwards. So you have no clue what's coming up actually.
The first ride I remember riding at Six Flags was, and I want to know if you remember this, it was like a Scooby-Doo game or a Scooby-Doo ride.
No.
Like a boat ride.
No. Okay.
Where you shot lasers at stuff. Do you remember you know what type of ride I'm talking about?
Yeah, because it's like Toy Story and what they have at Disney.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been to Six Flags twice in my life. Once, which is probably when this ride was a thing, when I was literally maybe 4 or 5. Like I have an old school like not even point and shoot, one of those disposable cameras, the little like those kinds. I literally have a picture. I think it was me, my dad, my sister, and then the guy in the Scooby-Doo costume all together. And I maybe my sister was, let's see, 5. She was probably around 9 or 10 at the time.
Yeah.
And I don't remember anything from that first Six Flags visit. And I've only ever been to Six Flags again in recent memory, like maybe a year or 2 ago. We went to Six Flags, and they didn't have a Scooby-Doo ride. They had Batman, Hulk, Simpsons, and a few others. But yeah, no Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo had kind of fallen fallen off the popular train at that point.
I do like the Batman ride though.
Oh yeah.
It's a classic there.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed the Batman. What I think where I was really trying to go with this is, did your hometown have like a town fair?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Did you have the Ring of Fire at your town fair?
The Ring of Fire is the one that just it's like
It's
one
the big
loop.
circle. It's
Yeah.
the big circle and just swings you around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a thrill seeker, but let me just say that I will never go on the Ring of Fire.
Why is that?
For the sole fact that I remember the first time, and this is such vivid memory, I was watching the Ring of Fire spin around, and it got to the top, and it had such perfect momentum that someone dropped gum out of their mouth at the very top, at the peak of the Ring of Fire.
Yeah.
And then it caught someone as it swung down. Okay? But that's not the end of it. I guess this grossed out the person so much
That
when
they
it
threw
landed
up?
on them that when they went up, all of a sudden I just saw puke rain.
And then it came back
and then
on
it came
everyone?
back and it rained on everyone.
Oh.
I watched this happen as a kid, and I just remember watching it and being so disgusted because literally I was in line. I was in queue to ride it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was literally the front of the line watching, and like maybe 2 or 3 people back, and then the ride stopped, and I was like, "Oh God, am I about to get on this?" I got up, and I was an inch below the height requirement, so they said I couldn't ride, and like I remember walking away and just being like, "Oh, thank God, thank God."
They didn't shut the ride down for people puking?
No, it's a county fair. What do you mean? They literally had a guy with a wet wipe and just like wiped down the seats.
What was I going to say?
County fairs are weird as hell.
Do you remember that one ride? I'm sure it was in your town. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like cylindrical, or not cylindrical. It's just like, it's this weird, it's kind of like
Is it a tower?
it's not a tower, but it like spins around and there are all these cages around it. And they,
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. It was like it had so many different names. It was like the Cyclone, the Twister, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The one where you were literally on like it was almost a flatbed and it spun you around so fast you were just trapped against it.
oh, no. It's like a long tube like thing, and that would spin, but attached to that were these
2
cages.
cars. Yeah.
No,
Well, not cars per
a
se,
bunch
but
of cages around it that would spin.
and so you're talking it's one big metal tube in the center.
Yeah,
And
one
then
large
on
one
on the ends?
all around it. So on the ends and on the sides there are these cages.
Yeah, no,
and they're attached, but they're freeform, so they can swivel. So the whole thing rotates, and then
See, we had that except there was only 2 big like almost train cars on the ends that spun.
okay,
Yeah, we didn't have free flowing just cages to rattle people around.
that's exactly what that was. Though
That's that.
it was one of the scariest rides I ever rode.
Yeah, no, I would say no to that.
But I love the Twister though. I've always loved the Twister rides.
I'm trying to think because you know all those videos on like YouTube and social media platforms where you see roller coaster crashes or just like amusement park anomalies in that sort of sense. Or like, have you ever been on a broken down ride? I personally haven't. I've never been on a ride that's broken down.
I don't think so.
But like you see those videos of like people on loop-de-loops. Like literally they're just stuck sitting there. Their hands are down, their hair's just sitting there, and they literally get stuck there for 30 to 45 minutes.
Imagine all the blood rushing.
Yeah, no, literally the
long.
amount of people that probably pass out. But then there's also like those freak accidents. Like it was a county fair and it was almost that spinning ride. And literally the car like detached from the actual ride itself, and it just flung off and like killed so many people.
Ooh.
Like you see those and it's just like, because of course they have all these safety protocols into effect, but it's also in like the back of my mind, I'm just like, wow, like they don't even make you sign waivers when you get into amusement parks, even if it's like a 0.00001% chance that happens. Like there's so many safety protocols now.
Did you hear about the guy that lost his hat? I think it was on the Batman ride at one of the Six Flags. and he tried to go in and get it,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the roller coasters started coming through,
Yeah.
and it I think literally someone's foot got his head and it decapitated him because of the speed.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this needs to be like when Halloween, when you go into those haunted houses that make you sign waivers. Amusement parks should literally have that stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like they would get sued. I'm sure amusement parks already get sued out the wazoo. And I feel like if they ever made actual waivers for people to sign, they would get sued even more for being like, why are we making? I thought amusement parks were supposed to be safe. Why are you making me sign waivers? But now, then I think back to like my county fairs and stuff like that, and seeing those kinds of rides, and I'm just like,
How
yeah, no,
rickety those
yeah,
are.
no. The fact that they built those rides in a night. Like
Yeah.
you literally drive past where the county fair was supposed to be that late that evening, and you'd see all the like semis parked with all the rides in them. Then the next day you drive by and they're literally just up and ready. Like to me, I'm just like, nah, that's not safe to me. But man, if I'm not gonna enjoy it, but the fact that they don't make you sign a waiver walking into it is just, it's kind of baffling in a sense, because amusement parks are so dangerous. But
County fairs especially.
Yeah,
the
but
more
like,
you think about those.
yeah, the more it's just like, why do I go to amusement parks to begin with? And like, yeah, it's the whole adrenaline, like thrill seeking thing of it. But it's just like, at any moment, this rail car could fly off the tracks and I'd just be dead.
Right?
And I don't know. Like, I think it's weird because I think about that every time that I go to an amusement park, and then an hour or two in after I've ridden like 3 rides, I'm just like, fuck it, man. Let's just go.
Let's
Let's
do
just
it.
do it. Like, let me just eat 15 funnel cakes and ride the twister and puke my guts out. That sounds like a delicious time.
Man, what was I going to say?
What's up?
Trying to think of some good times.
In amusement parks? If
yeah.
you can't think of any, that means that
They're scrambling.
you were in the Scrambler. That was another ride.
I do. That's a classic ride I loved as a child.
Yeah.
Were you a fan of the games, carnival games?
Honestly, not really. I've never been a fan of like, because you're talking about the fucking toss the ping pong ball and the hoops to win stuff, or the water guns into the clown nose or the clown mouth to fill the balloon, or the basketball games, or the or the throw the baseball at the milk cartons type stuff. Yeah, I was never really into those. I always went to county fairs or amusement parks solely for the rides. And then my parents would be like, you want to play a game? You want to try to win that stuffed Tweety bird? And I'm like, no, fuck that.
See,
why do I need that? I'd much rather just buy a t-shirt than get a stuffed toy.
See, I just like the fun of the water gun game.
I mean, I got the appeal, but
I didn't really care about the prize. It was just like the fun of
it. I just understood at a very young age how rigged those were. Like no one ever told me. It was just me watching them, and I was like, man, that seems absurdly difficult. And
some of those, I knew some of those were rigged. I didn't know how much all of them were.
Yeah, no, I never got into them. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But you know what else I didn't get into? This ad break. Look, Fish, I need to know something. I need to know. Have you heard?
Yeah.
You have?
Are
you sure?
Possibly. You can tell me though.
Have you heard of Anchor?
Like the thing that's on like boats?
No. Anchor. It's the easiest way to make a podcast. I'll let you explain. You said you knew about it.
Oh, yeah. I remember now.
Okay.
It's free.
It's free?
Yeah, there's
like absolutely free. No charge.
No charge.
Uh-huh.
There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer.
Wait, phone? You can just pull out your phone
and edit your podcast right from it and
that's
record
wild. That's absolutely wild. What else does it do?
Well, you can distribute your podcast, or Anchor will distribute your podcast for you.
Where?
So it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else. Many more.
Wait, so like Google Podcasts and all of those, you can hear it using Anchor? Oh my, really? What else do they do?
You can make money from your own podcast with no minimum listenership.
No minimum listenership? Are you
Yeah,
kidding
man.
me? You can just make money from making a podcast? I
Yeah,
didn't know
man.
you could do that.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
Wait, so you're telling me that if our listeners want to make a podcast, all they have to do is download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and get started and make their own podcast?
Yes, that's all they have to do is
That's all they have to
download
do?
the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
That's absolutely wild. What a great steal.
What a great steal.
So tell me, I need to know a little something about bugs. And I know you've put a lot of research into this. I know you've even tried personally.
That's not true.
What we're going to talk about. And spoiler warning, if you are disturbed by insects or slugs, worms, or slimy, creepy little critters,
You might want to tune out.
you might want to tune out because we're going to be talking about a fetish that literally revolves around these little creepy critters.
Called, what is it? Formicophilia?
Formicophilia. We watched a very disturbing video about Formicophilia.
Thank you to Vice.
Thank you to our Lord and Saviors for weird content, Vice. They supply the goods. They really do. And I want to save the best for last when it comes to this stuff.
Oh yeah, I think we both know what we're talking about.
Because I remember by the end of this video, our jaws were just on the floor.
We had to pick them up.
We literally had to pick them up.
Reattach them.
Yeah, put some screws in so that way we could actually talk for this podcast. But man, I thought we talked about.
I didn't even know this was really a thing.
Yeah, no, I thought we talked about some weird fetishes when we were talking about lunars and puppy play. But man, if Formicophilia ain't just the apex for what, maybe I need to do even more research into fetishes and stuff like that. Because
let's not become like the fetish podcast.
Yeah, let's not become the. I'm gonna do this in my own
people
time.
are gonna.
This is gonna be my own personal research, my man.
Okay.
But basically, Formicophilia is having sexual feelings for things crawling on you.
Yeah, it's getting aroused by like creepy crawlies crawling
it's
on you.
less about the insects themselves and more about the very small sensation of them walking on you or sliding or slugging,
slithering
slithering on you. And I like the more we watched, the weirder it got because the guy literally, or one of the guys in this, one of them like hid his face. It was like
anonymous.
Yeah, anonymous. Like he was just backlit. He was just a black figure talking about it. And then there was a guy that was like a BDSM teacher,
or something like that.
Yeah, and then there was one other guy that actually did show his face. I don't remember. All I remember is what he did, and we'll talk about that soon.
Yeah,
but
he did.
But the anonymous guy, like there were so many shots of him going out into the wood and just like taking his fist and punching like rotting logs in the forest and just grabbing all the termites. Finding termites and slugs and worms and stuff and just letting them crawl on him. And there was there was one point where he just had stuff crawling.
The interviewer
no, he had stuff crawling on him and all of a sudden he just hunches over and he has an orgasm. And
he almost
he got to the point like he was moaning and like hunched over like he was literally climaxing. And then the camera's like, "Did you just orgasm?" He's like, "No, I was close, but I didn't." It was like he was almost showing like some form of respect for the camera crew.
Jesus Christ, it's so bizarre.
He was like, "Yeah, those termites almost got me off, but I didn't allow them to. I had that much self-control." No, I don't even know where to go from here. In all honesty, like, because all I can think about is the ending of this video.
Look,
that's all I can think about is the ending of this video. I can accept, like, because cool, slugs are fine. I liked letting them crawl on me as a kid. I didn't find any sexual pleasure in it, but like, yeah, slugs are cool. Worms are cool. I like flick them around on my driveway after it rained. Crickets, that's fine. Going into Walmart and going into the hunting section, I saw crickets all the time. But man, once you get into the idea of letting just a normal like earthworm earthworm, washing it off after you find it in the dirt, and letting it climb up your urethra of your penis? Let me just tell you,
you went for it. You went for it.
You crossed a fucking border that I'm not okay with.
Yes. Yes, there is a person in this video. And you know what? I was going to say, I'm not going to kink shame, but I'm sorry. I have to, because it's disturbing.
Well, no, the thing is that this was like a whole 5-minute section, and we were watching all the worms like crawl over his hands and stuff like that. Like, we watched his girlfriend like place all these worms on him.
Well,
and
we gotta talk about the method, though.
Well, okay. Well, I was just gonna say that we weren't really expecting anything from it. Like, we were just like, oh, they're crawling on his hands. Then all of a sudden, he's talking about how he just lets them climb into him. Like,
into
that's
his
the way
pee-pee. Into his pee-pee hole.
That's the way he described it. He was like, and then I just let them go.
Let them go inside me.
Yeah, let them go inside me.
He has this process of where what is it? Do they not like earthworms? Don't like warm things, right? They like cold things. Yeah. So he freezes. He like puts his dick in like ice, and like gets it cold, and then he fucking fishes the worms in there, and they crawl in there. And
I think it's the reverse. I think they like hot stuff, and that's why they climb deeper. And then he has to,
because it naturally warms up, and the heat is what causes them.
And he said he loves the sensation of feeling them turning around inside him,
like
so
doing
they
like
crawl
a
back.
U-turn.
Yeah, so they crawl back right back out his urethra, and like God, it's just
fucking makes my fucking body tingle.
Yeah, I know. It's just like. But it's also like, this is like, we're getting the gross out factor of it. We're getting all grossed out. We're getting like goosebumps. We're literally writhing in our seats right now. But then you think about it, it's like, that's the exact same sensation he's getting. He's just finding arousal from it.
That's so weird. I don't get it.
Like, it's just, oh my God. Like, literally, when we were watching the video, I was like, okay, Formicophilia, you like bugs crawling on you. That's whatever. And then it's
weird.
It was a roller coaster.
It's weird, but I
didn't realize it was a roller coaster. We were just going straight up, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I let them climb up my urethra. I like to feel worms climb inside my
how
pee
to
hole.
Eat fried worms. How to fuck worms.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you eat mealworms as a delicacy because they're rich in protein and vitamins. I like to
come on them.
Yeah, I like to allow mealworms to climb up my my urethra, so that way when I orgasm, the cum sends them right back out.
I shoot them. I aim them at a target, and they shoot out like a BB gun.
Yeah, like those fucking assault blasters that you would shoot at flies.
It's like a marshmallow gun.
Yeah. Oh my God! They sold those at the county fair. Oh God, man! I
don't get it.
I really don't understand. I mean, were you okay? You were never freaked out of bugs as a kid, were you?
I mean, of course you had I had a fear of spiders.
Okay, I never really had a fear of spiders besides the venomous ones.
Well, I never knew which ones were.
No, that's my thing too.
So
I only ever knew of the black widow, and I knew what to look for that. But then in my town, a brown.
Yeah, my dad got bit by a brown recluse and had like a hole in his leg.
Yeah, no, that was a big deal in my part of the woods. Brown recluses were the ones you always looked out for, and I mean, brown recluses are just small. They're just little tiny brown spiders.
No, I went to this really like country hick school, like literally in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
and it literally didn't have a high school. Like you had to go somewhere else to go to high school. But in elementary school, I would always like play with like caterpillars and stuff like that.
Yeah, no. Bugs were never the ones to bother me. What's weird is that reptiles were the ones to bother me, but not.
I mean, snakes were. I didn't really. I thought lizards were really cool.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say it. I was completely fine with lizards, but as soon as you took away their legs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nah.
Freaks me the fuck out.
Well, it's weird because like those like banana boas and like corn snakes and stuff like that. If you put them in my hand, I'm fine with them. It's just the seeing them in the wild is what freaks me out.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm completely fine with seeing them in captivity or seeing them as a pet and stuff like that. But as soon as I used
just
to,
can't do snakes in general.
yeah, I used to go like hiking with my grandpa as a kid, and there was one time literally we were walking and he like had stopped behind us and we all turned around. I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, you guys just stepped over a copperhead. And we were like, what? He's like, watch this. And he takes a picture and he's like, I'll show you guys later. And like the day after, he sends an email out to my mom, and he was like, can you see the snake? And we sat there for probably about 10 to 15 minutes looking.
Did you find it?
Yeah, no, literally, you could not tell because it was fall. So all of the leaves were on the ground and it was just all brown. And of course, copperheads are just all brown. They just camouflage right in.
Yeah.
And all you could see were the eyes.
Damn.
And I'm just like, oh my God, my entire family stepped over this copperhead and no one stepped on it or got bit. And we were just all wearing tennis shoes.
That's so scary. I hate snakes. I fucking hate snakes.
But yeah, no, that's seeing snakes in the wild is what freaks me out. Seeing snakes in captivity is fine. Well, it's a kind of different experience if you're seeing venomous snakes in captivity.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, just seeing boa constrictors and like tree pythons or green pythons, whatever the name, like that doesn't really freak me out. But seeing them in the wild does. And then I've wanted a lizard as a pet for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
I was like, I never had like a dog or cat growing up for myself personally. Now I do. But like growing up, the only pet that I ever had that was my own was a guinea pig. And that's a conversation for another day. Because, man, that guinea pig went through some things. Like, I mean, I'm not even going to say animal abuse because me as like a 8-year-old did not see it as animal abuse. But there was something wrong with that guinea pig. It had a disease or something. But there was just not a vet we could take it to like fix its problems. And it seemed happy. Like you would take it out of its cage and it would run around and it would come to you and it would act like a happy-go-lucky guinea pig. But I think that's what I'm going to talk about next episode. But man, oh man, that guinea pig had some issues.
It's okay.
And that's all I'm going to leave it on. I don't...
Rest in peace, your guinea pig. We'll learn about it next week.
Yeah, we'll learn about it next week. But, yeah, no. Now I'm thinking about us feeding lizards bugs. What? I mean, I think that's why I went from talking about insects to reptiles is because that's like bearded dragons specifically. You feed them like mealworms and crickets and stuff like that.
You know, I said I hate spiders.
Yeah.
But I would love a pet tarantula.
See,
I said that weird, but yeah.
No, I get where you're coming from. What's weird is that I have no problem with spiders, but I don't think I could ever do a tarantula.
Really?
I think it's just the fact that it's big.
I think that's what makes it less scary.
See, yeah, no.
It's like, it's a lot more obvious that, hey, there's a spider right there.
Well, except for like the tarantulas that burrow under the sand and like literally... Have you seen those? They're sand burrowing like spiders / tarantulas. And literally what you see is just, it's a bunch of sand or like loose dirt and there's just like a rock or a leaf.
Yeah.
Okay. And you see a little cricket or a little insect like crawling by and literally that rock will like, it has it attached to its legs.
Yeah.
So you see the rock or leaf jump up like a hatch and you just see the spider lunge out, grab whatever it needs, and then instantly goes back in, and then the latch closes. It's literally like a whorehouse, like booby trap. And that's why I like you say they're obvious, but tarantulas like to hide.
But I mean, like, if as a pet, I mean,
no, as a pet, it's fine. But it's also one of those weird things that like when you're talking about tarantulas or snakes or reptiles, is that whatever you get, they can be temperamental. Like, I mean, you watch reptile people on YouTube and stuff like that, and they have boas that they're like, yeah, no, I can literally just slap this boa and it don't care, or like I can pet it from the head.
It's gonna get mad. It's like people having like a fucking pet lion or something like that.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying is like they'll be like, oh, this boa constrictor, and then just slap it over their shoulder and it doesn't care. It's like most mild-mannered thing you ever did see. They put it back there. Now this one, they open the cage door and all of a sudden you see a 20-foot boa constrictor snap its head out and like try to attack them. It's like this one's a little bit more temperamental. And it's like, it's so crazy to think that When it comes to like reptiles or tarantulas or anything that's not a well, you could say that about a dog and cat too. Like,
well, I think this is a good time.
What?
Shelve this because I feel like it's talking about exotic pets.
Oh, talking about no.
Would be a good
not even exotic pets, just pets in general.
Well, like some pets that are more wild than just your typical like cat and dog that aren't as tame because like any animal like a ferret or fucking.
Oh, I have some ferret stories I can tell too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, we can do a whole episode on weird animals or weird. Well, not
weird pets.
We say weird pets; they're pretty typical pets.
Yeah, lizards and
lizards, snakes, tarantulas, ferrets, guinea pigs, rabbits.
They're guinea pigs and rabbits aren't. I don't find those as weird or as.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, all of those are like typical pets in a sense. Like I know a ton of people that have them as pets.
That's fair.
But yeah, no, nice little teaser for next week's episodes. We're gonna be talking about animals.
Ooh,
spooky. Well, I don't know what else. Well, I don't know why I said spooky. We're in Christmas. We're Christmas.
It's gonna be
Wait, no, it's not Christmas episode. Because we have next episode where we can talk about animals, and the following will be our Christmas New Year's episode.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So
because our
shut up. We're going with shut up. Oh my god.
I'll see you later, guys. I'm Fish.
I'm Chayton. This has been MindMesh, the podcast.
Goodbye.